Hi. Okay, so this, and I'm sorry I have to be a little quiet because somebody's sleeping. So this is the loom that I was talking about, and as you can see here, I've taken the yarn that I got, and it's just this acrylic yarn. It seems to work okay. I'd rather, I don't know, if I could find something better that would be good. This is fine for now. I did notice that this tends to ball up a little bit, and it gets a little fuzzy after wearing it. I don't really like that, but the colors are perfect. So if I could find something like this, but more like hemp, a little bit stronger but soft, I don't know where the heck I'm going to find that, but anyway, so what I did was I prepared the loom, and excuse this pile here, and I wrapped the strings, or the yarn around, and I made it nice and tight. This is my beading loom, so it's not really made for this, but it works. It works okay as long as I'm really careful to keep things nice and even. And then over here, so I just took 12. There's actually, I counted 12 cords, so I just took 12 pieces of yarn. I laid them out, and I tried to match the colors as closely as I could, because the ball of yarn is kind of random color, and it has all the colors in her bracelet in there, which is really convenient, so that's why I got it. So anyway, what I did was I took some hemp, and I think this is probably about 1 millimeter. The size is about 1 millimeter, and I put it onto a plastic needle. This I wish I would have had before, because it really comes in handy for the weaving part. So, okay, now I'm going to show you the weaving part, because this is the exciting part. So what I did was, if you can see here, to begin, I tied the string onto this string, and so what I did was I just went over, under, over, under, over, under, and then wrap it around and go back under, over, under, over, over. So the opposite. If you can kind of see, you look here, I have kind of a pattern going. You can totally see my pattern. So over. So basically, this is why the needle comes in handy, because you can use it to poke through the threads without having to use your fingers. Because before I was having to use my fingers and the string, and it just was not working. The string would get all unraveled, and it was just really frustrating. Trying to do this one-handed is a challenge. I don't have a tripod. Okay, so this is what I did here. I just kind of went like that, and then I took my needle, easy peasy, and I just pulled. And all the string would go. And I kind of move it down a little bit to make it nice and tight. And what I did here, and this is what a real loom would do a lot better, I just would take my needle and push down, make it as close to the other one as I can. The yarn's really fluffy, so it's not going to allow you to do it like right next to it, like doing material, like weaving fabric or something, but it gets in a nice, looks like her bracelet, kind of. So then you just kind of pull that, but you want to don't pull it too much. You want to make sure that it's even, because it's really easy to pull too much, and then you have kind of a weird edge that kind of goes small and then big. If you notice down here, it starts larger and then it gets smaller and smaller. So that's why it's good to do a good length of bracelet, so that you have a lot to work with, and that way you'll have ends that are easy to finish. Then I'll just keep on going just like I did before. So I would do the opposite on this one. I would just run this up through here, and then I would just go you know, like I did before, over, under, over, just the opposite. And I keep on going all the way until I get to the end. And then what I did was I took, I'll show you on the one that I made. So this is the one that I made. And I did mess up on a couple of stitches because I did this weaving part by hand, and it was not quite as easy. It was a little bit harder doing it by hand, but, and as you can see, I totally missed. But for the closure part, what I did was I took the yarn, the finished bracelet, and I took it and I cut it off the loom, and I took it and I folded it in half around one of these loops. And these are just, I don't know, it's whatever you have on hand, really. I think it's probably about a 12 or 14 millimeter loop. Folded it around that, and then I cut out a piece of square leather and cut a little top part and folded it over the loop and glued it. I used Epoxy Glue, and let me show you which one I have. I don't know if it's real easy to get, but let me just show you. Is this right here? This is what I used. So this is really good because it dries. It doesn't dry real quickly, but what it does is that it gets, it kind of adheres. So when you glue something, you hold it for like a couple minutes or clamp it down with something, it'll stay, but it's not going to be permanently bonded for like 12 hours or something, but it'll stay. And it's a really good epoxy, and I use it for a lot of stuff actually. But anyway, that's what I used. Whatever glue you have on hand should be fine. But I made sure it was nice and flat, or as flat as I could get. And then I just used just a simple little clasp. Nothing too spectacular. Just something to hook it onto. I know that theirs has a an S clasp, but I don't have one of those, and the store didn't have them, so that's what I got. So anyway, this is my bracelet that I made, and it looks pretty cool. I wore it all day yesterday, and it kept its shape fairly well. Like I said before, I worry that it might ball a little bit with wear because it is acrylic yarn, and wool would probably do the same thing. I don't really know, but I would like to find something that's a little bit more smoother, I guess. And I was considering using floss and doubling that up several times to make it thicker, like yarn, and then using that. But floss tends to be a little shiny, and I don't know if I want shiny. That all depends, but this works for now. So that's the bracelet, and that's how I did it. Alright. Okay, thanks. Bye.